This is Jackie.
And this is Heather.
And welcome to
Millennial Mom Chatter, your go-to podcast for candid conversations and fresh perspectives.
We're just two millennial moms navigating life one hilarious audio message at a time. Join us for laughs, adventures, and real talk. Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Millennial Mom Chatter. We're so happy you could join us today. We're excited to have more fun chat with you guys, as always, with all the fun and spicy topics. So, Heather, how have you been?
I'm good. Beautiful weather, finally.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. I'm that old person that talks about weather all the time. I'm always like, because it's been so dreary lately. Like, it's like been like Seattle weather. Like, it should just be snowing outside. So we don't have a cloud in the sky today.
Nice.
I get to go to lunch with my grandma and my mom and Alvaro. And yeah. So
That's gonna be
kicking
so nice.
75 soft.
Our
Doing-
full-time job.
Our full-time job. I'm not skinny yet, guys. But I'm hoping I will be eventually.
No, but you're
Everything's
killing
good.
it, though. You've been doing really awesome with the program.
Yeah. I've just been trying to be like intentional about
Yeah.
like Heather doesn't need to be a full-blown like in the garage weighted. Like if you don't have time that day, like go to the floor and do some abs and like squats and like just it doesn't need to be a whole thing. You can
Yeah.
just do something small and it's better than nothing.
Yeah. So out of all of the things that are required with a 75 soft, what has been the most challenging for you these past couple weeks to like keep up with every day?
Reading.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Believe it or not. And water second.
Yeah.
But
I
I've
can
been doing
relate
good
to
with
that.
water recently.
Yeah.
I feel like I actually have gotten a rhythm that like I crave that much water.
That's good.
But I find that the reading is hard.
Yeah. Because are you a like physically sit down with a book type of reader where you like to have the book in your hand, or are you audiobooks, or what's your vibe with a book?
Well, that's a hot take in itself because
Yeah.
some people don't think that listening to a book is reading a book, which I agree.
Same. I don't
Okay.
think it counts.
Like it counts that you can say like you listen to that book. Sure.
Yeah. Like that
that's
it's
fine.
done. Like if someone talks about it, then you
Right,
can
like
talk
you
about
know
it
the
because you
information
Yeah. You
and-
know what was in it. Yeah.
But like it's not the same. It is not the same like mental
Yeah.
what is it like activity that reading is.
Agreed.
That's like watching TV or like listening to a podcast. It's not reading a book.
Yeah.
So you can say like if somebody says they read the book but they actually listened to it, they should have said I listened to It Ends With Us.
Yes, agreed. Absolutely. Yeah. So so since you are physically sitting down with a book, this is time consuming.
Yes.
You then have to take the break from doing the chores, taking care of the kids, or whatever you're doing that day to actually sit down with a book.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part.
Yes.
At least for me. I know that is for me too.
Yeah.
Dang it,
Especially
now I need to
life
sit
has
down
been
and do
busy.
nothing and read. Like,
Yeah. And I usually, so I go through spells where like I'm really into reading, and then I go through like where I will find time, like, cause
Yes.
I'm like addicted to the book or something. And then there's other times that like I have no desire to read. Like,
Yeah.
And they go through stages, meaning like months at a time. So like for
Yeah.
months, I'll like knock out like, 10, 12 books.
Yeah.
And then I won't read a book for 6 months. So
Yeah.
it's like I go through these, like, I'm not a consistent reader.
yeah.
So right now I'm in my like I've been this for
Yeah.
like 6 months now. I've been in my like low where I'm like
Yeah.
I don't have time to read.
But you literally haven't, though. It's been a really busy season for you. So to like find time in your day to literally
Yeah.
sit down and put away all the other things, that is challenging in itself. So I
Yeah.
can understand that.
And then Alvaro, when we're together, he's like, "Do you want to watch this show or something?" And I'll
Yeah.
hold on one moment. Let me just read.
Yeah. Let me finish reading my book. No, I
So-
get that for like quality time for sure. Same.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, the book's getting put down. So
How have you been?
good. Same, just busy. The full-time job of 75 soft. It's same for me though. Like as far as what I've had the most challenging time with, it's the physically sitting down and reading and water consumption. I'm one of those people that when I drink a lot of water, I'm going to have to go pee.
Oh,
and
me
also
too.
it's cold outside. So that to me seems like a chore. Like I'm not hot and tired and thirsty. So I'm not going to chug an entire bottle of water. And then that means I'm going to have to like get up and go pee. And I'm like,
No, that drives me
nah,
nuts.
that's fine. I don't need water.
You know me. I think lately I'll lay down at like maybe 9:30, maybe like 9:30. I'll lay down, and if I go to bed at 11, I'll probably have gotten up 7 times to pee. It's terrible. Like
Yeah.
it's like peeing is a chore. And
Yeah,
I
so then
can't-
you're
I
definitely the
can't
type
do
of
it.
person who can't drink before you go to bed. Like you'd have to like
No.
cut off your consumption before, like well before bedtime.
I don't. Not that this is TMI. It's nothing gross, but I can't. Like my bladder doesn't fully empty, so it's just like I just have to go all the time. So it's
So you
really
have
annoying.
the sensation of having to go
Yes.
pee more frequently. Yeah.
Yes, it's so obnoxious. So but I'm glad.
So
you're doing
catch
well.
us trying to drink our water.
Catch us trying to be hydrated.
Yeah. I think it's much easier in the summer because obviously you have the, like, I don't know, you feel like you're thirsty in
Yeah.
the hot sun. Just
Yeah.
right now, I'm not in the mood. It's too cold.
I know.
Don't
I
want
know,
to get
I
up and go
it.
pee. Yeah.
Well, have you seen the news? The latest news on Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni.
Yes, his 6-minute audiobook that he shared with the world.
Okay, I have some takes on it. What's your first thoughts?
He seems like a really nice guy. That's my first like initial thought, because that thinking back to when that message was like released or when he sent that message
He doesn't
to
know
her.
she's a bitch.
Yeah, like nothing bad had, or at least from our perception, nothing bad had happened at that point. So this is, early in the filming days. So it's like,
Yeah.
he seems like a genuinely nice guy. That was like my first impression when listening to the message.
Yeah, and he seems like even if he knows that he's right, he's gonna say sorry and make you feel like seen.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep.
And I did not find his boob comment inappropriate.
Oh yeah. The media loves to twist things, right? Or they're like reading into that one comment of nursing a child and taking it as a sexualization.
Yeah.
And it was like, Justin wasn't trying to do that.
And could he use a different word, or could maybe he have not said it? Whatever, sure. But like when you say like, oh, sorry, this voice message was long. You probably have a bunch of kids running around you and a kid on your boob. Like when she's breastfed in front of him on set a bunch of times, then it kind of, and he said it just in a joking way. And it was like, well, I'll let you go, whatever. Have a good night.
Yeah.
He didn't mean it, I don't think, in any bad way. Like I said, could he have not said it? Maybe, sure. But I don't find it to be like, oh my gosh, well, that was like very inappropriate. And we asked, I asked Alvaro, and he was like, no, I don't see anything wrong with it. I was like, okay.
No. And I think people forget that Blake Lively had just had her child at that time. So nursing was the era that she was in during this period of time. So it probably was very normal for her to be like, oh, I got to step out real quick and go nurse my baby. So that was something he probably was familiar with in that stage of filming. So I feel like people kind of are like really getting hung up on that. Like they want to. And it's just like, I don't think it's, I agree with you. I don't think it's anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, we'll just have to see if her career's over or not. I just think if he really wins it, she herself is done financially.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Like-
her and Ryan. How do you feel about Ryan now? Like, do you think he's kind of tossed into this mix as well? Or do we feel
I'm a
like
little
he's in the
torn.
clear? Like,
So I'm a little torn, okay? Because this is the thing. You can be a jealous person. You can be like a person that gets jealous, whatever. Now, if it's extreme, it's very like not dangerous, but you know what I mean. It's questionable, right? But like there are some people that struggle with that, and I get that. Especially in the industry they're in, I understand it. Right?
and with how Ryan and Blake met.
Exactly. I understand it.
Yeah.
So there's two things. It could have been his idea to smear his name and do all this kind of stuff, or I kind of almost feel like is the scenario, because everyone's like hating on him, and don't get me wrong, like he's very well involved in this, but I think he also could have been roped in. So
Yeah. I
it
could see
could
that.
have been an emotional thing. She was like, my husband can't find out, so she like smeared Justin's name, and then he was like, he made you feel uncomfortable, like he
Oh, yeah,
did
yeah.
this, he like whatever, and then she brought him in, and then like information started coming out, and they're like, he's stuck now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
He's involved now. Like
Yeah,
there's
like,
no
what does
getting
he
out of the
do?
story. Yeah.
So there's two situations. He could have been the one that like really like drove all of this. Like he's in the like the pilots. He's the pilot in all of this, or she brought him into this, and now
Yeah.
he's like.
I could see that for both sides too, for sure. Yeah. Especially because how it all started with the allegations, where it was Blake claiming that Justin had done these things.
There's
And
no
then-
proof yet. Also,
Yeah, there isn't any proof,
Yeah.
but it was easy then for Ryan to come in and be like, oh, we need to go ahead and just make this look like this was harassment from Justin to shove this down, to make it not look like it's coming from Blake at all. Like, really just
Right.
make you look like the victim. Keep your mouth closed, keep your head low. And I'm involved now because I also see this as a husband, you know, and I want to see these texts and I want to like, he doesn't want to view it as his wife did anything wrong. He wants to view it as Justin
Right.
did everything. So I'm just like, ooh, he can't. There is no him sneaking out the back door. Ryan's involved now. Like,
Yep. So I don't know.
it'll be interesting.
I
It's going to be
think-
a really good court case. I want them to make this public. Like, we
This-
need to have like
Surely-
cameras. Like,
There's gonna be a documentary, surely, right?
there is, yes.
There
It's going to
has
be
to
like the
be.
Amber.
Heard.
What's
Johnny Depp.
Yes, yeah, that's like the new one now, where it's like Blake Lively is the equivalent, and I'm just like, I'm here for it. Netflix, when are you guys gonna sign up for this documentary? Like, is someone already involved?
I guarantee
Like,
you somebody's already working on it.
yeah.
Cause like, what was it when it's wild how like media works and stuff. Like when Liam Payne died, like the next day or like, no, I think it was like 3 or 4 days later. There was a whole
Yeah.
documentary about his death, and I was like,
Like, how did you guys do that? Like what?
so
Who was there?
surely somebody is working on it right now.
Someone, some companies already like signed some documents. It's already in their hands. Like, yeah.
For sure.
I'm excited. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be so juicy. And I think we're going to find out so much stuff too. Because right now we don't even have all the details, just as like regular viewers and stuff. So I think that's going to be really interesting when we get to see all of the texts together, all of the like background footage that hasn't been released. Like, we get to see all that and kind of piece it together as well. And it's going to be juicy.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
By the way, if you see me going like this, I'm like, is my neck swollen right here? What's going on? So if you're watching
It
the
doesn't
video,
look swollen. I feel like maybe it's just the lighting from your hair.
no, I don't think it's lighting. That's my point.
Oh,
It's just funny. So if you're watching it and you're seeing my neck go like, I'm like trying to look at my neck like, do I got some thyroid swelling?
let's just add that to the list. Like,
I'm like,
this is what it's like to be in our mid 30s. It's happening.
What's going on? It almost looks bruised. Whatever. Okay. I was like,
Everything's
oh-
fine.
Oh my
Heather's
gosh.
fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see all of this play out and the drama to come to the big screen.
Yeah.
This could be a
Colleen
movie.
Hoover, she's going to write a book. She has to.
She should. She should. She should. Okay. So we are a very hot topic right now in TikTok.
we didn't even try to be, honestly. Like, we kind of just came into this really fun and loose, and it backfired, guys.
Yeah. So
We
if
have
you've
haters.
Seen, if you've seen our real TikTok, whatever, our video that we posted about the hot take on kid leashes. So Jackie had edited a video. Both of us kind of edited it, and we first read the hot take, and then we have like a little bit of a chat. Like, it's just like a little preview. We just do,
Yeah, we
like,
try to keep it
snippets.
short to
Yeah.
use for social media content.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to put the whole episode on social media.
Yeah.
So we're very intentional about clipping it, keeping it spicy to like attract viewers and listeners. And we did the opposite. Like,
No, we attracted viewers and comments.
yeah, we did get engagement. So this is also a quick little shout out to everyone who, though it was negative, we appreciate the engagement, guys, because TikTok and Instagram love engagement, and we appreciate you. So thank you.
Yeah. So people didn't like that when I read the hot take. They were like, "Oh my God, she's so mean. Why would she say that?" So some of the comments that we have gotten are, "Must be nice to have always perfectly behaved kids."
Yeah. Facts.
Moms of the year.
Yeah.
Then we have, apparently you never had to mother multiple kids at the same time.
And for those of you that know us, know we both have more than one child.
Yeah, that
So
I
it's
had
like,
3 kids under the age
Yeah.
of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all are tripping. They are not tall enough for their hand to reach mine, and I want them to be independent people, and that starts early in life. Well, this is a dumb take. I flew with my toddler alone once, trying to get all of our stuff through TSA. With her toddling around was a challenge. I wish I had one. What a blessing. What a privilege you all have. Until you have a nonverbal kid with escape behaviors, you'd never understand that it's a good thing.
Yeah. So basically, we are just awful, and we're not taking into consideration the the people who have very specific circumstances that would require them to utilize a leash versus other methods. And then you forgot the one comment about it was a young gentleman who said, "What about the pumpkin patch?"
Oh yeah, strollers don't work everywhere. Example, the pumpkin patch. They are perfect and reasonable scenarios for the toddler leash. And he's like an 18-year-old kid. Nick something.
But it was just so funny though, because if you listen to that podcast episode, we really we just read out these hot takes from our listeners and viewers, and we just kind of like talked about them really quickly for a couple minutes generically, right? So we didn't go into like all of the scenarios. Like, what if a disabled child? What about a blind child? What about the pumpkin
we also
patch?
talk about
like
if you have like a daycare or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
But I didn't include that in the clip because, you know, we want you to come listen to the podcast. But also, like, I didn't expect people to like literally attack based off of us not including maybe a disabled child and stuff. And also, it's not very kind for people to, you know what they say about assuming, right? So that wasn't very kind of them to assume, for one, that we claim to be perfect moms, didn't have kids, didn't have multiple kids, or had perfect kids, or like disabled children too, because we both have interactions with people in our communities, in our families, with people who are special needs, disabled, handicapped, all of the things. So there are circumstances where we believe maybe the stroller isn't the best, maybe the just walking alongside isn't the best. So we get that. So of course we just love that our viewers were like attacking just on the 0.01% of the population.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. We just think that at the end of the day, the average kid doesn't need a leash, right?
Yeah.
You know, like put them in the stroller. If they fight you, then you have to discipline them. Like, or you hold their hand. Like me and Jackie were talking, like when I had 3 kids under 4, 2 of them went in the double stroller because they were 2 and 0. And my 3 almost 4-year-old, like I told him, you have to hold onto the stroller. He knew he had to hold onto the stroller, and that was his job.
Yeah.
And like it taught him he had to do that, or he had to hold my hand, or go in or he swap out with a stroller or something. But like he was not going to just like be attached to me and learn how to wander off. Right. That's the problem.
Yep.
It doesn't really teach them to listen or stay by you. It almost like allows them to, yes, walk independently. But then they think that they can just do that whenever. Like they might just do that if they don't have the leash on because they're used to just walking on their own. So we're fine. We're good parents, Jackie.
No, it's fine. I just think, and it comes back to kind of, this is something we wanted to talk about a little bit today, was are we just not super to the left of like extreme gentle parenting?
No,
like,
we're
is
not.
the leash like something that this is their way of like, I'm gentle parenting because I still have control over my child? Like,
not always, but I would say the leash would ride more on the like gentle parenting side.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yes, you can walk and you'll just be attached to me, but like go wherever you want. You know, like you can't go anywhere.
Yeah. Whereas we would have said, like our example that you just mentioned, you just push it down and you're being safe and gentle. It doesn't hurt them. And then you buckle them up and you say no. And then they whinge for like 2 seconds and then they're over it. They forget it even happened.
They're like,
they're happy. Yeah.
And they're like trying to arch. And you're like, nope,
the
sorry.
super strong arch, and you just gentle embrace, no. And we carry on and everyone's happy. 5 seconds later, amnesia, and we're all good. Back to normal.
Yeah, Jack and I are firm believers in doing the like, you know, the pinch on the shoulder, and they're like,
Yes.
Listen, and especially at a certain age, this is the thing. I understand gentle parenting to an extent, right?
Of course.
When they're older, you can talk to them, right?
They're very reasonable. We're rational brains now.
Yes.
They'll take the time to listen to us without freaking out. Yeah.
Correct. But when they're toddlers or like little, there's no like, honey, you don't do that because blah, blah, blah. You might get run over a car. They're looking at you like, what?
They already like zoned out. They
don't
gone.
even know what you're saying, number one. So you have to do like a little pow pow on the hand, and you have to be like, no, we don't do that. And do they know what you're saying of the we don't do that? But they end up understanding that no means bad because they get a pow pow with it.
Yeah, they connect it.
They connect it, exactly. And so like, does that mean go beat your kids? No, guys. That doesn't mean literally go beat your kids. But like a little pow pow here and there, especially toddlers and youngers, is like, I think necessary, because my 12-month-old or 1-year-old is not going to understand my whole little speech.
No, not at all. No way, Jose. No, for sure. I agree. Especially because you need, like we talked about, the connection of like, it's alarming for that moment. Like you're not hurting them. It's just something
No.
that they're like, oh, wait, what was that? I didn't like that. Mommy has a stern face. I'm not going to do that behavior anymore.
Yeah.
So they definitely need that. You can't like get down on one knee and be like, like you said, we can't do that here. That's not nice. Like they're gone. That's done. Like,
Yeah.
we can do that when they're older and they have the like capacity to like listen and understand
And
consequences
that takes
and
a
actions.
long time, by the way.
It does,
Even at
yeah.
4, they're like,
They're like, I don't care.
they like listen for 1 second and you've
Yes.
lost their attention
Yeah.
span.
Yeah. I would say 3 and 4 is definitely the controversial age of like you can try to have these rational conversations with them, but not all of that is getting
No.
absorbed. We've like left the space.
Yeah, have you ever done
They're
where
on.
you do the timeout and you're like,
Yeah.
what are you sorry for? And they don't even know
Yeah.
what they did.
No.
Like
It's
they're
gone.
literally like, what did I do again?
Yeah. They're like, I'm sorry for what? I don't know. Like,
And you're just like, dude, do you not remember you just smacked your sister 4 minutes ago? And they're
Yes.
look at you like, no.
can I go play now?
So sometimes you just got to do like a nice little like,
Yeah.
You know?
We're fine. And that's the thing too. So this is like going back to a little bit of where do we get this from? So I will say
Our
I
parents.
was raised, yeah. So I was raised with spankings.
Me too.
So I think that's also like where I have this comfortability where it's like I won't get down on one knee and like do the whole like, okay, let's go talk. And how are you feeling? And how does that make you feel? And therefore, what are our actions because
especially
of
at a
this?
certain
Like,
age. Yeah, no.
no, not, and especially like in say a birthday party, like when it's a crowded setting, it's noisy, their friends are running around, we got the sugar high going. No, it's not the time or place. You're getting pow pow on hand. Don't you ever do that again. And go say sorry or whatever, like correct those actions. And that's it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So I don't know. Maybe we're just different. Like,
And we survived our pop
Yeah.
house.
I like that we're calling.
We survived our spankings.
Yeah.
I had the belt.
Mm,
I had the belt
yeah.
and a paint stick.
Ooh, that's a good one. I
Yeah.
didn't.
So my mom.
we had a
my
lot
mom
of
had a
hand.
paint stick. Well, we would have a hand on occasion, but my mom was very big on the pull your pants down and you like have bare skin on your booty.
Yes. Yep.
But she used to have a paint stick in her little like her door in her car.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. But
That's
the problem with her was we had a Suburban, and so me and Jason would like go to the third row.
We're
But-
safe back here. Na 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 na.
Exactly. But then she'd pull over on the side of the turnpike and tell us that we had to pull our pants down in front of everyone and just smack us in the booty.
So it's even worse. You get both not only the physical pow pow, but you then
Yeah.
have the embarrassment of
Yeah.
the whole thing that just happened. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun. But it's funny how parenting changes though, because I don't feel like my mom gave pow pows to my younger brother like she did us.
Oh, interesting. That's a very interesting perspective.
like I
That like the
can't-
times have changed a little, that she does her parenting style a
Yeah.
little differently now. Yeah.
I don't ever remember her being like she used to tell us, which we actually used to like when my dad would give us a spanking, because she'd be like, wait till your father comes home. Because she
Yes.
would like then
The wise
he
words
was-
of a mother.
Yeah.
Like,
If we were really bad, she would be like, your father will come home and give you the spanking. So we preferred that because his belt was thicker.
more surface area to
Yes.
less pain.
Yes. My mom had those 90s thin belts that were like, like whips. And so every time, Jason can attest this, every time she was like, your father will spank you when he gets home, we would be like, yes. So
I love
that was great.
We all have the same childhood. Also, I think the situation would always de-escalate by the time my dad got home. So my mom would be like less upset about whatever the behavior was. I would be less upset. And so by the time my dad would get home, it'd always just be like, this is what your daughter did. And then it would just be like, all right.
Your
let me
dad's like,
go.
okay.
Yeah. And it's like, it's already like de-escalated at that point. So I feel like it's the spanking or whatever the consequence was going to be less than it
Yeah.
would if my mom was like more in the heat of the moment, where it's like, get ready for this spanking. Like, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, one time my mom would always, so my mom was good about, she would always tell us like, go to your room and I'll spank you in a few minutes. She always wanted to like calm down and
That's good.
like,
Yeah.
center herself.
yes. very
And
good.
so one time I went in to my room and I put like 10 pairs of underwear on.
Genius.
So that I could not. Of course, she found out
Yeah.
because she hit and it sounded weird.
And you get just like solid thud.
It's like thud. And so then I ended up like getting it worse. So
Oh.
it didn't work
You
out.
tried.
Don't try,
Yeah, you
kids
learned.
Don't try it
You
at
learned your
home.
lesson. Yeah. Don't try this at home. Don't put on extra layers. Parents
I've
know.
known the people that have tried to put like books and.
Oh, yeah. In their pants or something. Like, yeah.
What a like see that just like okay, so we used to compare stories. Like I remember like one of my friend's sisters, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I tried to put a book," and we talk about our stories.
Yeah.
And then like the kids nowadays, I don't think they talk about their spanking stories.
No, and but I was gonna say that too because that was so normal back then.
Yeah.
No one was like, you can't spank your kids because this is considered child abuse, right? Like that was kind of like the way people talked, or they didn't talk like that. But nowadays, I feel like if I go to like a mommy setting, like a mommy and me, or just like a coffee or anything like that,
You're like, "No, I don't spank my kids."
Yeah, spanking is almost like frowned upon now.
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's more of like they're pushing for the gentle parenting aspect where it's like get down on one knee, take a breath, break it down, remove your kid from the situation. Like it's this full checklist of things before you can even instill a punishment. And I'm
Yeah.
like, when did this shift happen where like, not to say spanking is the end all be all for punishments and consequences for children. There's a time and a place for that. But there's also a time and a place for gentle parenting. So I feel like we've gone like completely opposite ends.
There's a middle
of,
ground.
Like, yeah.
So it just depends what it is, where you are, how
Yeah.
old they are, can they
Yes.
understand the conversation? Like there's a lot of factors that go into it. So in the middle is the ideal spot, in my opinion. But it seems like nowadays most people are just like severely on the gentle parenting side. Obviously, you have your people that are on the opposite side, but
Of
like
course, yeah.
also not as common as it used to be. Like I think my parents, like this was very wrong. So when I'm saying this, I'm not approving it because it was very wrong. But like it was normal to be beat in the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You're
and
saying
I'm
for
talking
our
about
parents,
like I'm not talking about just spanking. I'm talking about like
Yeah.
beat. Like
Yes, like,
like-
physical evidence of the beating
yeah,
they would
I would
receive from
say
their
like
parents.
most parents did that.
And it was like elders too. I think it was
Yes.
very generational of like
Yeah.
a grandparent would be allowed to then spank a child as well. So
Yeah.
that's very different from how far we've shifted to now. Because if you parent somebody else's child, whoa, like you just stepped out of bounds, like severely. If you try to if I walk up to another child at a playground because they're throwing sand in my child's eyes and I try to say like, hey honey, please don't do that. That mom's coming at me, like trying to
is
tell
so
me not.
dumb.
Yeah, which is like so. I feel like we've gone so far extreme. It's like don't tell my child what to do, and it's like, okay, all right, like this is too much now. Like,
Yeah.
don't take your wild child to the playground, like whatever. But
Yeah. If Jackie, for example, my toddler's off at her house, and we know this about each other.
Yeah.
Me and her give each other like full ride. Like
yes,
parent,
we've already had that
like
conversation early in our
parent
friendship.
my kid.
Yeah,
because
if my
they're
kid's
not
at your
gonna get
house
away.
acting ratchet, yeah, definitely don't let them get away with
No.
that behavior. They know better. And that's the thing too. Our kids are also at the age they are more rational, so they know better. So therefore, I do want them to have a punishment for their behavior because they know not to behave that way.
Of course.
Like,
and
so
it's going to
they-
be more extreme, yeah.
Yes,
In the sense
yep.
of like you will not be able to have technology for the whole week.
Yes.
Or whatever it is, because a pow
Yeah.
ain't going to do it. They'll be like,
No,
okay, I'll take
yeah.
that over the whole
Yeah,
week.
that
of no
didn't even hurt.
technology.
Like, exactly, taking away something that they love, like the switch being gone, and it's like, no, spank my hand. Come and spank the hand.
Exactly. Exactly. I'll take the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why we're friends, because we can
Yeah.
just like there is a comfort level. Like right in front of Jackie, I have no problem being like, Dylan, we're not gonna do that. Or like we're not gonna ask that. Or like,
Yeah.
dude, you just had a snack. Like you're not gonna ask your mom again for another one. Like and,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
we have no problem. There's no question. It's like
Yeah.
it's like thank
No, and
you for
that-
backing me up.
Yeah, exactly. Because it always comes back to this too. It takes a village nowadays.
It
It really
does.
does take more than just the one person to like raise children. So it's like it's always nice when you find like a community of people where you can just feel safe with, your kids and everything like that. So
Yeah.
now I'm just like gotta look out for super gentle parenting around me. Because also other thing too is like now with raising our kids, I find that since they're a little bit older, we're more rational, we can talk about things, that now I almost have to encourage them to be mindful of someone who's being gentle parented, because if they take offense to anything that my kids do, it might be slightly irrational. Like say they don't share a toy at a public park, then it's like, should my kid be punished for not wanting to engage or share or whatever it is? And I'm just like, no, like we also have to instill real life values into them, that you're not always going to get what you want. You're not always going to be a winner.
Yep.
Like life's not always going to be handed to you. Like you can't always have everything that you desire. So I'm just like, sorry, boys, just be normal. Like,
Yeah.
share
Like,
if you want, be nice, be kind.
yeah.
But
Like, I'm not going to make my kid, like, I'll be like, do you want to share it with them? But like, I'm not going to make them like give their ball to somebody at the playground that they don't know if they went to go play with it.
no.
Like you brought the ball so you could go play at the park. I'm not gonna, and then who knows? They'll probably take it. You know, kids,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
parents nowadays don't care. They don't watch their
No.
kids like at the playground, and they'll just walk off with it. And
Yes.
so, like,
Yep.
if you don't want to share your ball, totally get it. Don't share it. And just like if he asks for the ball and the person doesn't share it, totally fine. You say
Exactly.
okay, and
Yeah.
you walk away.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, it's tough. It's like almost like they're gentle parent, but then they also just don't want to parent sometimes.
Yeah, because they don't want to disappoint their own kid. I think a lot of that is like, no, they're allowed to have that because I don't want them to be mad at me or sad or disappointed. I want them to have everything that they want in their life. And I'm like, that's not teaching them good values to become an adult. Like, because we don't get everything we want. There's going to be disappointment in life.
Yeah.
So I feel like letting them have every little thing and then expecting that from the people around them as well, like their peers in their classes, people at the park, sport teams, all of it. I'm like, you're not always going to be picked first. You're not always going to get
gonna
what
the
you want.
participation trophy. You
Yeah.
shouldn't, at least.
Like, no,
That's a whole.
that's
other
a whole
topic.
nother thing.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah, we just experienced that for the first time. That like, I was talking to Jackie about this because it's like, so Jax tried out for the basketball team. Like, let's be realistic. We knew he wasn't gonna make it, but because he just didn't practice for it, he just didn't practice for it, right? Like, we know there's kids in his class that like practice and play it all the time and all that kind of stuff. So like, it was one of those things, like, I would be shocked if he made it because not that he's terrible, but like, he doesn't practice. So like,
Yeah, and he's also, this is his first year
Exactly,
trying
yeah.
out. Like he's on the young side of the team too. So
The
this isn't
youngest
at all,
grade. Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
not like he's been missing out for years, and this is like a weird
No.
situation. Like this is very
So-
normal. Like
he tried out for the team, and I will say, just a tiny bit, I felt bad for him because, and then I had to like recheck myself. I'm like, no, Heather, this is a good learning lesson. Like, this is a good learning lesson. Like, there's no feeling bad for him because he was the only one that didn't make the team. And so,
see, my heart doesn't like
Yeah,
that. Like, because I
exactly.
like Jax. The thing about your son though is he's the sweetest thing
yeah, he
that
is.
like is there at that
Yeah.
school. So for me, I'm just like, they should have done something. There
Well,
was
so then I was
space
like-
to put him someplace.
Exactly. I was like, dude, you couldn't have added one word to the team or like
Yeah.
make him the water boy or like
A sub.
bench him at
Like,
games, but he practices with them. You know what I mean? Like something
Yeah.
like that. So my, not entitled, but that side of me came out a little of where I didn't talk to anybody, by the way. This is all in my head. Like, I didn't go and like, oh my gosh. you
I
did
demand
it."
to speak to the
Yeah.
coach.
No. But then I was like, this is a good, he was disappointed, but I'm like, this is a good learning
course.
lesson because I'm like, you haven't practiced, dude. Like,
Oh,
how'd
yeah,
you think
yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
make the team?
Yeah.
So
And then this is a good example. Was he receptive to that conversation? Did he understand what you were saying when you said that? Like, oh, well, maybe next year I'll practice. Like, did he kind of like
yeah,
get
and
what
he
you were
also
saying?
just had everything working against him because they didn't let
Oh.
his teacher didn't let him change for PE, like into his PE uniform. So he
Oh,
went
okay.
and tried out basketball with jeans and a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, so he already couldn't dress out. He wasn't in the
Exactly.
right attire. He already
So-
felt like everything was against him
Yeah.
that day.
So it's
Aw.
okay. And I told him, I'm like, this next time, like, you just have to practice. Not everyone's good from the, like, right off the bat.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And only 2 kids from his class made the team in general.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There
So
was
that's
only
not
3
even,
that
like-
tried out.
Yeah.
But they're the youngest. It's from 4th to 6th grade. So they're the youngest grade on this team. So, like, in soccer, a bunch of people, like, almost the whole class in 4th grade tried out, and only 1 got on the team.
Dang,
So, like,
that's crazy.
so I told him, I'm like, it's okay. You just didn't practice and you didn't do all the things to like actually get to that level. But so it was a good learning lesson. But there was a part of me in that parenting side that was like, dude, you couldn't give one more spot. There was
No,
only-
I agree. in
there was
that
only
sense, for
one
sure.
more position.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay.
No, but that's good though, because
No
that's
hard
going to be one of
feelings.
those things. Like, this is an example of not gentle parenting. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't say anything to the coach, and then also you told him like, "Hey, like, you didn't practice, therefore you didn't make the team. So like he then can take that and be like, I'm going to use that as motivation for next year. Like that's, you're instilling good values in him to want to then do better and succeed. And this applies for everything, job interviews, college, everything in life. So I feel like good job. That's a good mom win there. Like,
Thanks. Yeah,
he'll be fine. He's got this next year. And he's also doing other activities. So he's going to rock his drum solo. That's what he's got right now this season.
He is doing drums this season. I'm like, aren't you do drums next season? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, no, you are. Sorry. There's no option. Like, you've come this far. You're just going to like, no.
Like put that activity to the side.
Yeah, no. So hopefully he sticks to drums, and hopefully we can practice some basketball and get him on the team. But now he's going to be next year in 5th grade. This is going to be a little bit harder because he's going to be competing against, like, I don't know if they take a certain amount from a certain grade, but like,
that's what I was going to ask.
I just think that people are going to be getting better. So I'm like,
yeah. So he's got from now on.
He's got some work to do.
Yeah, he's got this whole entire year to practice, get those skills, and make the team. Because we're playing basketball.
By the way, I put that on the other day. So Liam last year when Jackie was here for the summer, it was Liam's birthday and he wanted a basketball theme. And so Jackie and I, of course, you know,
we leaned into it. Yeah, we were like, we will take this.
So we literally put like basketball from Like Mike. And that was like the first thing that came to both of our minds. Yeah. And so all the boys were like, stop.
Yeah, we were embarrassing them. It was
like, we were
incredible.
Like, we're playing that. Like around the whole kitchen.
Yeah.
And they were just like, stop. Yeah. Even Liam was like, just stop.
He was definitely cringing. And it wasn't even like that affected him in any way. Like,
so I actually put on the other day. It might have been when he tried out that day or something. and they're all like, just stop.
I don't know why they don't like it. Like, why don't they like our singing and dancing? Like, it's so fun. Like,
also, that's like a great song.
It is a great song. And it's stuck in my head because like Liam had a basketball game yesterday and that's all I do. I'm like, get in the car because we're gonna play basketball.
And does he say stop?
He does. He 100% stop. He hates everything about it. Like,
I don't know what it is. There's only certain, like, my kids don't care if I dance and do all things, but there's certain songs that just irk them. And I'm
no, that song, I don't know why. And it's the fact that it hits a nerve for all of them. Like, so I don't understand how it's just like a communal song that they all hate. Like,
we, during our time, thought that was like a bop.
Yes, I don't understand because it seems like it's a good song, and it's not like they've heard it before. Like, it's not like it pops up on the radio. It's not on a top 40 where they would just be like, no, it's overplayed. Like, where are they getting this hatred from?
I don't know. I don't know. My kids are the same.
We ruined it for them.
We ruined it, but it's okay. I like it.
I know. It's always fun.
That's how we're going to end out this podcast.
Yeah, we're going to play this song for you guys.
Like, we're playing that's going to be the ending.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Maybe
That's our
I'll
new
actually
ending.
do it.
Yeah. That'll be so fun. We do not own licensing rights to this song.
Yeah, I might not put
blocked
it
when we upload it on YouTube.
Like, but it's fine.
Yeah. But this was fun. It's always so fun chatting and catching up about all the things. So listeners, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts. I think that's all of them. And TikTok and Instagram. And whenever you have a chance, be sure to like pop in some comments, DM us some hot takes, topics you want us to talk about. Like, we're here for it. Like, if there's a guest that you want to see here on our podcast or you want some fun perspective, we're here for it. We love to make things fun and spicy. So let us know what you want to hear.
And support us by liking. It only takes 1 second to like.
I know. Just click. Just a double tap.
Second.
Like,
just like or share, or like when you're listening to this podcast on Spotify, literally just click the rate show and click. It's literally 5 stars. You don't have to write a comment or anything. And that helps us tremendously. But thank you for listening, and we will chat next week. Bye.
Bye.